what is the biggest mistake I see with new agents? So I'm a really big believer in psychology, right? To me, business is 99% psychology. So like
Yeah.
whatever is going on upstairs is going to make or break your business.
Right.
And I get a lot of agents, especially newer agents, and then it for sure leans towards younger, newer agents, but also just new agents in general, where they go, but I don't know as much about real estate. I don't know as many people. I haven't been in the business as long. I haven't done as many transactions. Why would that person hire me? And they're already taking their self out of success and out of the game
Right.
just by their belief system. And I think new agents forget, and this is my, if you only knew what was happening with these top producers and teams and how they actually handle business for
Right.
their clients. Because you think, oh, this top producer, this person who's on the billboards and the flyers, oh my God, clients must love them.
Right.
Clients may never even meet them.
Right.
And as a
Yes.
new agent who has less business, you have time. And that is something that people want. People want time with the person that they want to work with to do
Right.
work for them.
Yeah.
And buyers and sellers sometimes don't realize until maybe they hired them that, oh, I don't actually get to talk to and spend a lot of time with this
Right.
person who's really successful and seasoned. I'm working with their minion who
Yeah.
they hired. Whereas if I had worked with that less experienced agent, but I'd be working directly with them and they are the expert, the agent. And so
Yeah.
that's something I think new agents should lean into, is that you being new, you having less clients is actually a good thing for some people,
Right.
and leaning into that versus getting afraid of that.
Well, you're absolutely right. And time with clients, it doesn't matter if you're with 10 different clients 10 hours a day or one client 10 hours a day. You're going to learn more from having direct access to what they're thinking, what they need, you watch them, how they're choosing the houses, how they're hating houses, why. That's all information you need. That's like the 10,000 reps before you're masterful at something. And there's probably I don't know, I was going to say 1,000, probably not that many in real estate. There's probably a solid 200 different categories of that. And you don't have to be the absolute master. And I was shocked that exactly what you're saying. I've always looked for mentors, collected coaches, absorbed all I could from them, implemented immediately whatever I thought was the top thing to implement from them. And one of them early on said, you know what, I'm selling 500 houses a year, me and my team, but I guarantee you and I aren't that different in skill level, right? I just have a system and 15 people backing me up to implement it. So it's it's true. People want to work with people that they like, and statistically they will choose the very first agent that they meet who seems competent. And that could be a new agent. When I was a new agent, I was holding an open house that didn't belong to me. It was another agent's listing. And I met a friendly couple that they were like, hey, can you look at our house? It's around the corner. We're thinking about selling. I'm like, yeah, open house is now over. Let's go. Let's go. And I spent a few hours just hanging out with them and, chatting it up. And I sold their house that month. That was my first sale, and I didn't see that coming at all. And it just, it was the beginning of, that was a confidence booster early on. The guy had been licensed for 2 months at that point, and it just led me down the road of realizing that I just need to be real with people. Not everyone's going to like me. I don't like everybody. It's got to be a good match to go smoothly. If it's not a good match, God help you. It's just like, pulling out a tooth a day for however long the process takes or until you run out of teeth. it can be horrendous, or if you do it right, it can be phenomenal. It should be phenomenal most of the time, or at
Mhm.
least closer to on that half of the spectrum, right? So you show up for people, you're honest, you communicate well, you try and proactively address what their needs are going to be. You tell them what's going to happen before it happens. You fix problems for them before you freak them out with telling them everything's just gone upside down, right? It's like, let me just tell you what I've been working on. The lender told me your loan isn't going to happen, but I've been talking to the listing agent and they think the seller is willing to do a land sales contract. That's very different than like, hey, guess what? You're screwed. And there's no solution in sight. That's another thing I wanted to say about new agents is that I've worked with people who had a statistic where half of their deals fell apart. That would make me insane. My statistic, I'm very stubborn. Once I have a deal signed, 98% of the time it stays together and closes. But I've had to take heroic measures to get them to close. And I mean, there's 20 different things I can think of that probably very few agents in the country would even consider doing, much less like willingly jump at doing to keep a deal together. They're just like, oh, if it wasn't meant to be, nothing I can do about it. It's like, what? Your job is to get people what they want, no matter what it takes. So
Well,
figure it
let's
out.